Peace.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We start out the show, as usual, with the DAX index. As you can see with the sell-off we had yesterday, it permeated all across Europe and even parts of Asia. But the market bounced back relatively well, which is it should, because the shorts are absolutely scared to death. So you see two upticks in a row. They're on their way out of there. Anyway, one of the things we want to talk about this morning that I think is very important is and I'm, how bearish I am on bonds, folks, but let's take a quick look here at the high yield bonds. These are these are known as junk bonds. They came into fashion back in 1974. Mike Milken, who had gone to school at Wharton Business School, had an idea to change the name of junk bonds to high yield bonds. And this was during a time when interest rates were extremely high and small companies just couldn't get for financing. However, when they changed the name to high yield bonds as opposed to junk bonds, it sort of loosened up the market. And of course, Drexel became the junk bond king. Mr. Milken did anyway, and that's what started the whole thing. Oh, we got a caller from California this morning. Daryl, how are you?
Hi, Larry. How are you? Daryl Ryan. I actually met you 18 years ago out here in San Fran at a conference when I was 20 years old.
Daryl, I remember you. You had a blue shirt on and were wearing tennis shoes, as I recall.
Probably. Anyways, it's great to hear your voice. I actually, when I was 20, got into trading even before that. So I was wondering if you could either look at GE, which is obviously a name in the news, and it sort of seems like it's kind of bottoming here, or NASDAQ, whichever one's easier for you to have a little look at.
Well, I think the first one we probably could look at would be the NASDAQ, because we had such a big move yesterday. We'll put this up so we can take a quick look at it. This is just a 30-minute chart going over the last 10 days. You'll notice the low that we made yesterday, Daryl, was an exact 61% retracement within a few points, and then we had a pretty strong rally that went above the 61% retracement. So this market is still bullish. It really won't be bearish until we get below the lows we made in early November the 2nd. That's what I would think would be the place to look at it. The rest of the market doesn't look quite that bullish when you look at the New York Stock Exchange Index and some of the other things that are out there. The Russell looks very, very negative, but that's neither here nor there. Now, as far as General Electric, this is a stock that maybe it's bottoming, but this stock has been what we call an underperformer for quite some time, and we're down matching the lows of 2015. Let's just put this up here so the folks can take a quick look at it, and you'll see. But I wouldn't touch it here. It's 19. You realize this thing was 33, and the market's gone up 100% almost since in 2 years, and this thing has not gone up. I think there's so many other things you could put your money in that this is not something that I would want to mess with.
Great. Thank you very much, Larry.
No, that's no problem. The only thing I can say good about it is the fact that it's very low price, and I don't think it's going to go out of business. I don't know if you know this, but it's the only original Dow stock that's left out of the original 30.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Daryl. Call in anytime. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, folks, let's take a quick look here we'll talk a little bit about this high yield bond market, folks. It looks extremely bearish. And if we remember, on these treasury bonds, let's get the updated version of the treasury bonds here. There we go. And here I am sitting here extolling the virtues of being short bonds. And you can count on one hand with no fingers how many short bond positions I have. The $64 question is, how do we get in to the Treasury bonds since it missed our price by 2 ticks. I know some of you folks were able to get in, but what I'm waiting for now is a small 30-minute ABCD pattern. It's not going to happen today. It probably won't happen until early next week, but I'm looking for a correction to get into this. Folks, I think this has the potential to be one of the big winners. Just look at that chart. I mean, it's bearish. It hit a 20-minute line. It hit a 38% retracement in the notes. I mean, gosh, it's got everything that you could possibly ask for in a short sale. But by golly, not being short when you want to be short is tough. The old adage is it's much better to be out of a market wishing you were in than in a market wishing you were out. So I know what that feels like. So we'll just wait and see, what happens with it. Regarding the gold, boys and girls, this is a Friday. Now that's a big revelation from someone who looks at the calendar every day. Let's just take a look here. I want to show you the difference here between the gold and the silver. And you'll see here, the blue line is the gold chart. You notice how the gold has taken out the highs of November. We've gone higher all the time, whereas silver was higher 4 days ago. Since that time, it's been in a downtrend. It's holding okay at the that downtrend line there at $17 an ounce. But why isn't it? And it been the leader. Why isn't it going higher? And that's my $64 question that I pose to you. Maybe it'll be like bonds and it takes off, and we'll see. But we'll see if that is in fact see if that is going to happen. But believe me, at the break, folks, we're going to have Adrian Togaray as our guest. We have another caller. Whoa, this is a lucky day today. We're calling from Victor in I guess
New
it's
Jersey. First thing we're going to do is check the continuous contract on cocoa, and Bloomberg has it's a ETF, NIB. Is it on a breakout?
Cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa, the continuous contract. It looks like I should buy something. It looks like it's at a historical low there.
I watch cocoa occasionally because I have someone that is interested in it. Yes, it is. Here, in fact, this is one of the things I covered in the newsletter last week. Let's just put this up. I don't trade cocoa anymore, but if you give me a second, this will really describe what's happening. We just made a 382 Gartley just 4 days ago, right at that 2040 level, and we've exploded to the upside. We're going higher here. I mean, how much higher? Have to wait to see what this first sell-off will be. But boy, this is a very, very bullish chart when it was at 2040. I hope you can see that, Victor, because that encompasses all.
Should I touch it now or wait? It's going to pull back.
No. Hey, Victor, I'm the absolute worst person to know about buying strength. Every time I buy strength, I should just send my checks into the commodity exchange because I just don't do strength very well. So my guess is that we should be able to buy it on a little bit of a pullback. If you get it back about a point from where it is now, around the 2090 level. Well, it's not going to get back that far. I'd say about 2140 is what I would be looking for in the cocoa.
Yeah, what's cocoa based on? Is it seasonal or the way they the beans? I don't get it because it looks like, is it a Christmas play or no?
No, it's chocolate. It's chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for calling in, Victor. I hope that helps.
All right, bye. Thanks.
You bet.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to mention that I'm going to be hosting John Jameson on next week on Wednesday. He's going to be doing a webinar on the Bitcoin phenomenon and what it really means. Folks, I've been doing this an hour and a half a day for about 10 days, listening to what he's telling me. We have to pay attention to this. This is not a flash in the pan. I believe Jamie Dimon is wrong about this one. This has got a real chance because of the way that it's set up. It really looks very interesting. John was one of the very first people that got interested in the internet way back in the early 90s. He actually went to school in London to study it, and that's how he made his money. But anyway, we're looking at this Treasury note market. This is a 10-day rally that couldn't even make a 382 retracement. Missed the exact fill by 2 pips. We missed it by 2 pips in the Treasury bonds are now down 2 handles, $2,000 from that level. So we have to find an entry level. And what I'll be watching for is the first up day and the possible ABCD correction that we might get, which would be very interesting. There's a lot of chatter this morning about the Treasury and the tax thing and stuff. They're so far away on that stuff, folks. It'd be like the icebergs in Antarctica will probably melt before they ever come up with any type of a consensus on this. I really think it's sad that we can't get 100 senators. I mean, I don't care what you are. They're Americans, for God's sake. They ought to try to do something to help the country. And, I guess they are, so what do? I'll just shut up. I'm not going to run for senator. I'm not going to run for president. I'm not going to run for dog catcher. I might even get elected dog catcher, but that we don't have to worry about. Okay, now we want to watch something that is happening right now. That would be, this is what happened yesterday. Let's just review this because we had a big move down. Yes, I have something to say on soybeans. Yes, I'll be happy to. Let's just go to the thing that, I use as my, I use this because this is how I watch what I'm looking at. We'll just pull up January soybeans now, and I'll just give you a little idea of what we're looking at here. We had a report yesterday. That report took beans to 10.02. That was the exact 78% level from the high back on the 15th of October. It never went a penny higher than that. And now we've come down. We dropped 14 cents yesterday, and we're touching this downtrend line at 986. That tells us that we want to come down to the 61% retracement, down about another 25 cents. And we're having a, the corn, since we, that's our largest corn crop, where corn is really broken down, quite a bit here. So I think we have to pay pretty close attention to that. And boy, I really messed that one up. Hold on just a second, folks. What did I do wrong here? Wow. I've got corn, but unfortunately it says cotton. Boy, that's not a good sign for somebody that's old. Anyway, we're down near that old support in the corn market, down around the 340 level. That's going to make a new low at 340. That's when you want to start looking at it. But the key here, folks, is this. We've got the new moon coming in here on Monday. We're going to have Norm Winsky as our guest then, and we know that the corn works very nicely with the lunar cycle. So I wouldn't touch the corn until Monday. That's what I would wait for. It's on the watch list for sure, but I wouldn't touch it until Monday. Corn is corn and wheat are two of the best things for trading cycles, especially lunar cycles that we have. So that's what I would do, and that's what I'll be focusing on. I'll be looking at meal and oil and all the other things. Soybean oil still does look bullish, but the meal has certainly given back too much, and we're probably going to be looking at some more consolidation into this lunar cycle that's coming up here very, very shortly. Alrighty, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the cattle, because several people have asked about cattle this morning, and we'll put this up here. How do you figure what the harmonic number? That's a very good question, Gator. The way you find a harmonic number is we found it on a computer. Twentyman and I bought a computer way back in 1975 before, many people even had computers, but Twentyman enjoyed that stuff, the software and everything. And so what we did was we would start looking at swings in the market by looking at half-hour charts. We would get data from the CME and the Board of Trade, and we would put the stuff through the computer, and he would program it to say what is the most common swing over the past 30 days, and it would come up with the first one and the second one, and those gave you the harmonic numbers. But you can prove this yourself, boys and girls. Like Twentyman says, defy human nature, do the work yourself, and that's what you should do. The way you do it is you pick a half-hour chart, and then you look at the chart with your eyes and say, what is the most common swing that we've had here over the past 10 days? And you look at that, and then you go back and look another 10 days and another 10 days and another 10 days. After you do 100 days, you're going to have a pretty good idea what that harmonic number is. But what it'll do, the harmonic numbers will expand and contract depending upon the volatility of the market. If the market is really volatile, the harmonic number will expand by 1.618. If it's really weak, if there's no volatility, it'll reduce by 0.618. In other words, you have a harmonic number of 34, and the market is really crazy. That number could move all the way out to 55, which is 1.618 of 34. And if it's weak, you could back off into a 21, which is 61%. Of 34. So that's pretty much what it's looking like. Yes, the cattle are at a really critical level here. They really need to hold this 120 level. We touched it yesterday, closed right near it. So there's still a possibility they could gap down. But if it does, then it's going to tell you that we're going to go lower. We did hit the high right where we should have, up there at that 127 level, as you can see, on the chart, but that's neither here nor there. So we'll watch that. We got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend because of this new moon, and we know the new moons are really very, very powerful because it's the start of everything. And we will have Norm Winsky on to discuss this. I believe Norm is coming in on Tuesday, and but we will have some things going, to watch it, very, very closely. That's the main thing that we want to be watching here. Okay, now the stock market. Let's take a quick look this morning. We're we're still down a little bit, not very much, about 50 points in the Dow, I guess. NASDAQ down about 14 or 15. Not really much happening with that. So we'll watch what's going on, with that as we go through the main thing. Is next Saturday? What? It can't be. Well, he just asked me if he wanted to be on. I'll have to check that, Pedro. I don't know. Norm sleeps less than me, but I will double check. He has to be on. Maybe I have the wrong date. I don't have my astro calendar in front of me right now, so I'll have to double check. But you're right. It must be the new moon is next Saturday. So that's a long time. That's way back on the, wow, that's not until the 18th? That can't be right because we just had a full moon. Yeah, it is. Wow. Well, the full moon was on. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's exactly right. Well, that's wrong about the corn. Then I've got that messed up. I'll have to check that because we'll have to wait and see. Oh, saved by the bell. Stay tuned for Adrian Togaray, Trading on Target. We'll be right back. If you have any questions, call in, folks.
Larry Pesavento and John Jameson are teaming up for a live hour-long webinar Wednesday, November 15th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, titled The Hidden Secrets Behind Trading and Investing in Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are some of the most volatile trading markets in the world right now, and this is a webinar that you will not want to miss. In this live 60-minute webinar, John and Larry will discuss a variety of topics, including where cryptocurrencies trade and how to get started, how to recognize supply and demand in cryptocurrencies, and the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and why knowing this one piece of information puts you in the top 1% of cryptocurrency traders, as well as many more topics. Visit the front page of TFNN.com for all the information and to sign up today for Fibonacci 24/7, and we'll see you Wednesday, November 15th for the hidden secrets behind trading and investing in cryptocurrencies.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we have Adrian Togaray from Trading on Target. AT, are you there?
I'm here, Larry. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. How's the weather there in Paradise? You're up in the North Carolina mountains, aren't you?
No, I'm in Virginia now.
Oh, okay. Well, did the election go your way? I don't know.
Did.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is your history of doing this. You started with Van Tharp many, many years ago, didn't you?
That's correct.
And I have a question. Is he still doing this?
You know, every once in a while I look online to see what he's doing, and there was a time that he said to me that I don't believe in retirement, so I think that he's still doing it.
Oh, okay. I remember when I first met him, it was $10,000. I hate to think what he's charging now, but anyway, I'm really big in, of course, you know, the mental part of this, because Mark Douglas was my very, very best friend for the 30-some years that I met him, and when we lost him, I was very sad. But AT, the one thing that he always talked about was he did these 10,000 accounts with Merrill Lynch as a study for them, and on why people lost. And he found out that the main reason was that they usually put their stops too close or they overtraded. And I know there's a lot of other reasons, but I firmly believe that this business is probably close to 90% mental. Do you agree with that?
Well, there's many ways of looking at it. One of the ways of looking at it is from the perspective of someone that's coming in for the first time. And when a person is coming in for the first time, all they believe in is strategy. If I have the right moves to get into the trade and get out of the trade, I'm going to make money. And at that point in time, it's probably 99% strategy, because that's all they think about. But what happens is when they get into it and they find that now I'm faced with the possibility of losing the money that I've earned, then all of a sudden the mental part comes in. And once you are an advanced trader, then it's like 90% or more mental. So there's a combination of what makes a trader profitable, and certainly the mental aspect is extremely important to the professional trader.
Well, it's very much like sports, because you have to have your head in the game in order to be really competitive. That's one of the reasons why, well, Michael Jordan had a lot of talents, but he certainly had a mental talent, as do some of the really great superstars. Now, the one thing, how do people learn this, AT? You teach some stuff and you have some great informational material, but how does a person just jump right into the mental part of why you're doing this and what's important, because it's an important part of our business.
It's extremely important, and I'm just going to backtrack up about what you just said about the sports. It's not only sports, it's also the entertainment field. Whenever you're facing yourself, in other words, facing the fact that you have to be performing and there is someone judging you, either someone or you're judging yourself, that's when the mental aspect of it comes in. And what happens is when you get into this, it's not like going to a 9-to-5 job and there's a certain amount of things that you have to do. Yeah, there can be pressure about performance, but this is a minute-to-minute performance anxiety that comes up, where it's a trip of discovery about yourself. It's a trip of discovery about everything that's ever happened to you in your life that affects you being able to make decisions, be able to face your fears, face the possibility of loss. And that comes very, very soon after you get into this and take your first trade.
Wow. I wish you could put that in stone, because that really resonates with me. I mean, it is, when you look at the monitor and look at the prices, you're looking at the sum total of all your psychological flaws. And I agree with that all the time. That's why I hate to look at the monitor. I try to put an order in and then forget it. But I think one of the reasons why, this is my 2 cents worth, is many people lose is because they watch the monitor too much and they try to extract more information that's actually there. But, that's just my 2 cents worth.
Well, people will over-analyze. One of the things that I tell my clients is you must have a checklist. And when you have this checklist, you check off you're getting into a trade. till the point of getting into a trade. After you get into the trade, then you manage the trade. But if you're constantly going from, let's just say you have 5 steps, you go from 1 to 2 to 3, and then you go back to 1, then 2, and then you're in that loop of always checking yourself, then what happens is then the anxiety starts to show up. So when you have a checklist, whether you check it off on the page or you check it off in your mind, but it's in front of you, then what happens is you're more likely not to get into that point of doubt, that point of, am I able to do this? Is my system working?
Not only that, but it gives you a format to check when things go wrong. Did you follow that program or not? Is that correct?
Absolutely. And then what you do at the end of the day, of course, you have a diary of everything. And the other thing that I ask people to do is work around everything that you have done in a day. Put it down on paper so that you could see, well, maybe if instead of the 15-minute chart, I'll be looking at the 3-minute chart or the half-an-hour chart, or maybe I should be not trading on Monday or not trading on Friday based upon my strategy. Maybe I should only be trading these particular hours of the day rather than these particular. And if you have it all on paper, you don't have to constantly go back and look because you have it right there, and you're just doing it on a daily basis where it's not a very big deal because you're doing it right after the trade every time or right after the day of trading.
That's a great idea because you're building consistency every time you do it, and pretty soon it becomes like a habit and it becomes unbreakable. And that's what you're shooting for.
That is probably one of the most important words in the trader's language, because when you are consistent, you're more likely to get to the point of what I call the master trader, which you certainly are, where you're at one with the markets, where there's no division between you and the flow of the markets because you feel them. People that are making a lot of money in the markets today are the people that discretionary, intuitive, I don't know what you want to call it, but they know that they know because they're at one. They know the markets. But you can only get to that point if you're not dealing with your psychological issues, you're not dealing with your strategy issues, because you've already handled that. Once you get to that point.
Hey, AT, we got to pay a few bills. Could you stay with us a little longer?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back with Adrian Telgray of Trading on Target.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Adrian Togaray from Virginia now, and also trading on Target. AT, when did you move to Virginia?
I moved 4 years ago, but I kept my North Carolina phone number, so that's why people get confused.
You've been getting all the gifts I've been sending you, haven't you?
Yes, every one of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, it's a long story, but I've known you so long. So you've helped me a great deal through a lot of troubled times in trading, and some of my students too, which I really, certainly appreciate it. Could you tell the folks, some of the services that you have that and how they would reach you to give you an idea? Because I know you've got some really great value on some of the things. So why don't you give us a little commercial here on what you have available?
First, Larry, November 14th at 4:30 Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing a free webinar, and I'm going to be answering all the kind of questions that traders want answered. So if you can't even think of your question, I've got the questions as well as the answers, because I've collected questions for the last 25 years. So all you have to do is write to me at adrian@tradingontarget.com, and I will make sure that you get entry to the webinar. Also, for your listeners, till next Wednesday, I have a package. It's called the Trader Secrets Package. And if you want to know where the problems lie in your trading, this is a package to get. The package is normally $250. I'm giving a 40% discount to the people who write to me. You can't get that on my website, but what you would get is an evaluation and consultation with me on the phone, where I can tell you exactly where your problems are and what you have to do with them. Whether you're in really good shape or you're a basket case, I can tell you where you have to go from there. I also have seminars and private consultation, but the place to start is the evaluation, because from the evaluation I could tell you where you should go from there. And please see me on Tuesday, November 14th, and have your questions answered, either by writing the questions that you have down or the questions that I have listed.
Mm-hmm. You have such great experience at this, because not many people follow the psychological implications of the market anymore. Jake Bernstein tried it a little bit, but of course he didn't stay with it very long. And then Van Tharp, basically did it for a while, but he priced himself pretty much out of the market. You're the only one that's really got the great value at a price that most traders can afford, and they can only afford it when they really need it, and that's the problem, because if you're making millions of dollars, you're not really thinking about it. But if you're just trying to struggle and you don't know what the problem is, you don't know where to go. It's like if you've got a really bad lesion on your arm and you don't know which doctor to go to, you've got to get it fixed. So you got to select which one is going to help you. And I really believe in the psychology. I mean, Mark wrote his book right here in this office here in Arizona with me, and interviewed these guys right where we were sitting next to each other. And the more I saw it day after day, the psychology part of this is just absolutely blows me away.
Well, if you don't invest in that part of yourself, you're never going to reach your full potential, no matter what type of performance that you do. Everyone has issues that they've dealt with. There was one fellow that I worked with a long time ago. He made $25 million the year before I worked with him, and after we handled his psychological issues, the next year he made $40 million. Now, I'm not telling you all my clients do that, but what I'm saying is that no matter what level you're at, once you handle the things that are keeping you from each next new level of success, then trading is more enjoyable, and your life as a trader is more profitable.
Adrian, you promised you wouldn't mention any of my history when we talk. Now, why did you bring that up? And anybody that believes that, we have 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge available for you. Hey, listen, I want to
thank... I have this love interest on the phone every 6 months or so.
I remember when we first met in Vegas 20-some years ago, and you were there, and you were having breakfast with your friend, and I picked up the check, and you came up to me and you says, "Why would you do this?" And I said, well, I just thought it was the thing to do. I think it was like $12 or something, but it was really quite funny. We laughed about it, but we became friends ever since that time. So it was the best $12 I spent that year for sure.
Well, I'll never forget that time because when someone does something special like that, you always remember them, and they always hold a special place in your heart.
Well, thanks a lot. The best $12 I spent. Listen, thanks for joining us, and I hope the folks will, come in and listen to you on the 14th. All they have to do is go repeat the email again so that they can go and get that information for you.
It's Adrienne, spelled ADRIENNE, at tradingontarget.com.
Okay, great. Listen, thanks for joining us, and we'll hope to see you again soon, and enjoy the wonderful weather of Virginia. Is it snowing there yet?
No, it's not, but it's coming.
Yeah, I heard the weather was in the 20s some places in Pennsylvania today. So, hey, thanks for joining us today, AT. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, Adrienne Tilgray of Trading on Target. Folks, she really knows what she's talking about. And I had a question from one of our listeners today about trading 1-minute charts and stuff like that. Folks, trading a 1-minute chart is almost impossible. I'm going to post here a chart which is a 2-minute chart of gold, which will show the patterns. You see a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. Then you see the Gartley going up. You see the Gartley coming down. But folks, you're looking at about a $2 range. The whole range of the day is from 86 to 82.5. That's $3.50. And you're going to have to get perfect execution to get anything to work. And that's a 2-minute chart. Working on a 1-minute chart is absolutely impossible. And, I don't recommend anything less than 15-minute chart. But the patterns are there on any time frame. What you have to do is determine which, time frame you're going to trade and sort of stick with it. That's, basically the bottom line of what you want to be doing. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but that's what you're supposed to be doing for sure. So we'll see what's going on with these markets here. We've had I used to try it years ago, 2-minute charts, Marshall, but it just doesn't work. It'll drive you crazy. You just can't focus. I can't focus in front of the computer more than an hour at the very, very most, and I don't really look at it. I really don't watch the computer. I have those of you that have visited me here in Arizona know that I have limits that beep and tell me when something's hit. Other than that, I really don't have any interest in, what's really going on with it. So pay, pretty close attention to that, I think, because trading less than a 15-minute chart, you're gonna wear yourself out. You're gonna get trader fatigue, very, very quickly, and that's not a good thing to have, because that leads to errors, and errors lead to loss of money, and loss of money leads to unhappiness. 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the stock market here. I posted the chart of the NASDAQ here over the last 2 days of trading, so you can see the big drop that stopped right at the 61% retracement. And we have to get below yesterday's low to get any type of maybe a 2 or 3 day correction in the market. We haven't been down 3 days in a row since Moses was floating down the Nile in a basket. So we might get one of those sometimes if we can find another basket, but who knows? We've been up so many days in a row on a historical basis. I think 58 new highs where the market has closed higher in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That's never happened before, but records are made to be broken at highs and made to be broken at lows. So we'll see what happens with this. There's absolutely still no fear in the market. There is a little support coming into the volatility index only because people want a little bit of protection, and that's really what they're doing there. I don't think they have any expectation that something's going to happen. They just want that protection. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, yes, the markets in Europe are trying to close near the low of the day here on a Friday, also in Asia, but it's still early in the day here, so we have to wait and see what happens. But the fact that we did at least have a 230-point down move, at least for intraday anyway, in the Dow Jones was the first sign of weakness. And, of course, it snapped back really quickly. And the reason for that, of course, is the fact that the shorts are absolutely scared to death because they have been beaten up, pretty badly. Fortunately, the one that we sold, which was the Russell, never really gave us any heat, and that was 2 weeks ago. It hasn't gone down much. I mean, it's in slight profit, but that's the main thing to see if it's going to happen. The Russell has already, turned green, so far early this morning. So we'll see how that ends up. But we're Friday in an up week, so it's going to be pretty difficult for the market to close lower, would be my guess. 877-927-6648.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.